Look at that beast. Whew. Alright, we gotta let it go. Hello everyone, back at it again in my little gray crawdad. I just launched the crawdad and we're fishing a drawdown lake today. You can see the water's down about 3 feet against the dam in the spillway, and there's water just pouring over that spillway. I tried a bunch of lures, typical bass lures, chatterbait, which I'm fishing right now. I had on a red craw ATV crank earlier. I went through a bunch of different baits, including some of the ones in my lap right now. And I'll be honest, I wasn't doing too much. This is a new lake. I think I fished here about 20 years ago. I don't think I did too much then either. But the drawdown shifts the fish around quite a bit. And, if I was going to skip a jig into some shallow wood, well, I can't do that because a lot of the wood is dry. So that left some minor points, like I'm fishing right here. And I really just couldn't find anything to get the bass going. And the other problem I had is the bottom of this lake is covered in this brown slime weed, which sticks to everything. And where there isn't the brown slime weed, there's this clingy green algae stuff, which really mucks up the lures too. But I noticed there was some perch following my lures in, and I thought I could do the bait and switch on them. This time of year I like to carry a small ultralight with me, just for these kind of conditions. Maybe it's a tough bite. That's not a bad perch. He's a little on the thin side, but he was long. And it provides for a good backup plan. If the wind's blowing, the fish aren't going to bite. Normally I like windy conditions. I don't know what was up with these fish. Maybe they're just cold. But anyway, once I started getting the perch to follow me in, I switched over to a BFS combo with a Yo-Zuri 3DS wake bait. Now, I mentioned this before, but that Yo-Zuri 3DS wake bait really is not a good wake bait at all. It only stays on the surface on a super slow retrieve. But if you reel it fast, like I'm doing right now with some pauses mixed in, it acts like a super shallow running crank. Sort of like a Baby 1-, the original Baby 1-. And on light line with a snap or a split ring, it'll even hunt a little bit, which is rare at any price, but especially on this price. And it's a shame because I don't think Yo-Zuri really knows what they have here, because if they did, it wouldn't be discontinued, and they would probably call it something else. So I'd say get as many of those Yo-Zuri wake baits as you can, and just remember they're super shallow running cranks and not wake baits. I'm tipping that yellow and white tube with a little piece of red worm. You only need a little piece, and that seals the deal for these perch. But this isn't a perch. My camera died, and I was on my way back to the ramp, and a big bass ended up in my net, and it ate that Yo-Zuri 3DS wake bait that I was fishing as a crank. So we're going to get this big bass unhooked, get her on a scale. Got it zeroed out. I kept that fish in the net over the side just to make sure everything was good for the release. You don't want them, laying on the carpet while you're fiddling around looking for a scale or something. 6'7", 6'8". We'll call that 6'7". Yeah, 6'7". That's a big bass. That's probably the biggest bass I've caught this year. I caught a couple 5s, bunch of 4s. That's the biggest bass of the season for me. And I guess the message is don't give up. Just keep slinging. Keep those baits wet. And till you get back to the ramp, there's always a chance you get a big one. Here's a closer look at that Yo-Zuri 3DS wake bait. Got a decoy egg snap on the nose. I do swap out the trebles. Just like all my other videos, I'll list all those details in the video description below. And you can duplicate exactly what I was doing here today. There's the BFS combo. It's a Arc Gravity BFS reel with a Jenko double down rod, 10-pound braid, 6-pound Yo-Zuri leader. So it's pretty light line for a fish like that. Thank you all for watching. I'll catch you on the next one. See ya!